Um, a lot of what we covered in our group has been mentioned already, but the key things for us was um, having the deeper message, not just going and talking, but having a lot more depth to the conversation, all about solving problems. And that also relates to getting to know your customer much better. I was particularly interested in one of the guys from White, I think it was Craig, mentioned that the follow-up comes and the discussion comes after they're sitting in the car with their team, discussing the approach. And this goes back to another point that came out, that you have to have the knowledge about your customers, and you've had to have done your research. I think that was very important. I think Rana said that. One of the other things was the teams, and I think other people have mentioned that it's all right having a good gung-ho salesperson at the top, but you need to have the follow-through and the team to understand their approach and to follow that through. I think that was mentioned by a few people, and also communications. One of the things that one of the guys mentioned was don't talk about COVID. I think we all, and then I suggested, well, why don't we talk about the football? And they didn't think that was such a good idea either. But in any event, steer the conversation away from COVID. That was, and I agreed with that, because we all tend to get bogged down in, oh no, there's so many cases, and especially in my business, when are the borders going to open and all that shit. So I guess steer away from all of that. And that was mentioned by one of the guys. And I've heard Odil's plan before, but I think that's putting some discipline into all of us about the 5 conversations per day and the 5 follow-ups. And I think that gets people looking at their LinkedIn profile as well. And Karen, I think I'm very grateful for the help that you've given me, but then that will help with the conversations per day and the follow-ups if everybody has a great LinkedIn profile, and to, as a call to action as well. And I think that was everything else, I think, has been mentioned by others. All right.
Thanks, Barbara. And I think I popped into a couple of the rooms, and the things that were really interesting there were things around that assumption. And we've spoken about no COVID, no politics, no vax conversations, and really being in a position where we don't create a conversation around what we assume about somebody else, and also what's no-go subjects. There's automatically going to be potential conflict. And Barbara mentioned having a chat with Karen Tisdall, as did I when I was in one of the other rooms, really, that when you've had a chat, commented on somebody's profile, and they get to go and look at your or their posts, and they get to go and check you out, having someone like Karen Tisdall help you make your profile look amazing is definitely the way to go.